I'm Jarrett Edwards on behalf of Nishine Lure Works, here to introduce the Nishine Lure Works Finesse Cover Jig. This jig weighs in 1/3 of an ounce and features a very special 2-aught Ikawa hook. Extremely sticky sharp, no doubt. This jig features a 15-strand weed guard. Now this particular weed guard happens to be stiff enough that it's going to keep this bait from not getting hung up nearly as much in the wood and the rock and a lot of the grass, but it's also soft enough that when that bass goes ahead and bites, you're going to be able to set that hook right on up in the roof of the mouth with ease. One of my favorite features of the Nishine Lure Works Finesse Cover Jig happen to be right here. This is a nice hand-tied skirt right there, and very unique material. In the water, the skirt really breathes and traps a couple little air bubbles on it. It's pretty unique stuff. But the second happens to be this hand-tied wire keeper. Now, we all know when fishing soft plastic baits that these things can get extremely soft and tear off many a times on short strikes, or you get 1 or 2 fish and that's about it. However, Hiroshi Nishine, master lure designer and creator of this jig, created this hand-tied plastic keeper right there on the base of the hook. And that happens to be one of the finest I've ever used in the industry. This right here will hold a variety of plastics regardless of how soft they are, and it works pretty simple, just like this. You go ahead, take this bait, right? Thread it onto the hook, pull it all the way out, and now you want to push it over that hand-tied copper keeper, such as this. When you do that, you're now going to notice a wonderful opportunity where you go to pull on this and it just does not come off. Your bait will literally rip in two before it's actually going to be ripped off of the actual jig. So that's a really cool innovation, especially in a beautiful finesse jig such as what you see here. Now, when Hiroshi Nishine designed this jig, he wanted just the perfect right size for finesse applications. He didn't want it too big, he didn't want it too small, he didn't want it too bulky. This bait right here is just a nice little snack for those bass, especially in high pressure water. But to me, one of the wonderful fishing opportunities that this jig provides, unlike a lot of others on the market, especially in the finesse category, is the opportunity that when you go ahead and either pitch or cast this jig down the bank, this jig actually falls vertical. Okay, so anytime you're fishing near, docks or rocks, or anytime you want this jig to fall right in the heart of that wood pile, this bait is going to actually fall vertical for you. Many jigs on the market, due to their head design, when they pitch those baits out, they're going to hit in the water and then they're going to go ahead and glide. But this particular little cover jig right here has been designed that every time you throw it out, it's going to fall near vertical, right down into the strike zone. And to me, the more productive water you're fishing, the better your chances are of catching a lot more fish at the end of the day. Hiroshi Nishine designed this particular little cover jig, okay, with a very unique head design on there. And this design right here is designed for both casting as well as dragging. And to show you, give you an idea, a lot of jigs, their ties are right on the outside here, okay? That's going to get you a lot more snags. However, what you're going to notice here is due to this unique head design in the water column, that whether you're casting or whether you're dragging this, you're going to get a lot less snags. And that happens to be because there's a small little bump right here on the end of the head. And that bump is designed to when anytime you're dragging that bait in the water column, and again, due to a more vertical of a line tie, it's going to hit that structure, roll right over the top of it, and move down. So the head design is very unique and very active to get a lot less snags at the end of the day for you. The Finesse Cover Jig is available in 5 different colors. First, we have watermelon candy. Then we have pumpkin pepper and green flakes. Then we have the famous black and blue. And then we have smoke blue. And then moving on over, we have the copper craw. To learn a lot more about the Nishine Lure Works Finesse Cover Jig, it's pretty simple. Just visit us online at nishinelureworks.com. I'm Jarrett Edwards, and we look forward to seeing you on the water.